Hey guys, Alicia here. I just wanted to make this video. I'm sorry if it's a little shaky. I'm using my camera phone because my laptop is kind of like slow right now, so it's not recording right. But I wanted to make this video for a long time, or I've wanted to make this video for a long time. It's kind of just my experience with abusive relationships. Yes, I was in one, and no, I'm not in it anymore. It kind of started a little fast. You know, me and Gabby have been really good friends for a while, and she knew that I was unhappy. This was probably about a year and a half ago. She saw that I was unhappy, and all she wanted to do was see me with someone that makes me happy. And she introduced me to a guy. I won't say his name just for privacy purposes, and no, I won't go into some details just because it is a little private, because, you know, obviously it was my life. So I met him, and turns out that we actually have mutual friends. And when I met him, I also met these friends, and you know, I went crazy because I was like, oh my gosh, I actually know someone. And we had a great time. Like, he was a good guy, and the next day we went out to lunch with, you know, mutual friends and him, and he asked me to be his girlfriend, and I said yes, and that was the day after we met. There's some things that some people don't know, especially my family. At the time, I was living with my best friend Nikki and her fiance and her babies, and so I had my own place, you know, with them. And I don't know what I was thinking, but I was thinking that I wanted to be in love and that I was ready to be in a serious relationship, and so this boy moved in with me. And this was only 2 weeks after me and him met. Some other stuff happened, but like I said, I won't put out all of our details because, you know, it's kind of personal. But so he moved in 2 weeks after we met, and we were doing okay the first couple of days. You know, it was all lovey-dovey, and I had never lived, you know, with someone before, and I was happy, you know, for the most part. But then things started getting weird. I wasn't allowed to stay out at a certain time. I couldn't see Gabby and Jeff as much as I wanted to. You know that we're used to seeing each other every day, and I was no longer allowed to do that. At first we did hang out, you know, before we moved in together, we did hang out with Gabby and Jeff, but he did not like my friends, even though he had knew Gabby prior to this, but he didn't like them. He thought that our relationship was too close, I guess you would say. He just didn't like me spending all my time with them and Lexi. So I wasn't allowed to see them anymore. I was 21 when I met him, so I wasn't allowed to drink at all. He didn't like me drinking with other people or, you know, with him there. We would have, you know, gatherings at our house, you know, with Nikki and, you know, some of our friends. And one night I told him that me and Nikki were going to make margaritas and we were going to have one. And I ended up drinking 2, and he got so mad at me that he stormed out of the house, and this was around 11 o'clock at night, and he didn't come back until 3 in the morning. I had already gone to bed. It's not like I was drunk or tipsy or anything, you know, it was just a couple drinks. And I went to bed, and he came in at 3 in the morning yelling at me about how I didn't listen, and if I do stupid things, then I'm a stupid person. And that was a couple nights into us living together. And that was the first time he had really shown his controlling towards me. After that, I had lost my job. That was because supposedly I was not happy enough at work. I don't know where that comes from because I'm smiling constantly, but I lost my job, but I was actually in the process of getting a new job anyways, so it's not like it was a big huge deal. So when I lost my job, I was, sad, and I wanted to, sleep for a few days before I started my new job, and he came home and brought a dog. He brought a puppy home, and he was a German Shepherd, so he was going to grow into a big dog. And I love animals. I love every kind of animals, but I'm allergic to them. Not fully to dogs because I've grown up with them my whole life, but but being with a dog in a close room who's not potty trained, he's a puppy, and I would be the one, to be home with him because he worked too. My allergies were so bad, and I couldn't handle it, so my medical status was not very good. And so he had brought home a dog, and he wanted us to raise, this puppy together. And another week had gone by, and I was really away from everybody. I couldn't, if I was going to go to dinner with my family, I had to be home by a certain time. If I was late, I was cheating on him, or I was avoiding coming home to him or something like that. So I was always getting in trouble for something. And then I wasn't allowed to wear certain clothing. I couldn't wear any spaghetti straps, any shirts that showed my shoulders, or any see-through tops. Right now crop tops and sheer tops are really in right now, with a tank top underneath, of course, or if not, but I would wear a tank top underneath, and I wasn't allowed to wear those because I don't know why, but I wasn't allowed to wear those, and I wasn't allowed to wear a certain kind of makeup. My makeup wasn't supposed to be too heavy. My hair was supposed to be curled or done or finished or something like that. And so after 2 weeks of living together, or I don't even know if maybe 2 or 3 weeks after living together, I decided that it was for the best if he moved out. My parents didn't know that he was living with me, and I know you're probably watching this. I'm sorry that I never told you, but at the time it didn't seem like I was doing something dumb. So he moved out. That caused a huge fight because I basically kicked him out. I just had it, with his attitude and the way he was treating me mentally, and I just couldn't take it anymore, so I had kicked him out. Then we got in a huge fight because supposedly, I stole stuff from him, but, he just left it at my house, and that was a big, huge mess. But I'm dumb and went back with him, and we were dating still. Months were passing by, and, some things were going on. It was still, I wasn't allowed to see my friends or be, with my family a lot. If I slept over at his house, I wasn't allowed to go home. Like if I were at his house, I wasn't allowed to go home to my own house. One night, I wanted to sleep at my own house because I had work early in the morning, and I just didn't want to stay there with him. And I went to my car. This is around midnight. I went to my car and I got in, and he follows me outside and starts cussing at me and yelling at me in my face while I'm sitting in my car. I reached for my phone because I was going to call my mom, and he knocked my phone out of my hand and took my car keys. By this point, I was trying to hold back my tears, but I didn't want to cry in front of him as well. And he kept cussing at me, and then all of a sudden he gets in my face and grabs the seat that I was in, my driver's seat, and starts shaking it and cussing me in my face. And then he pulls me by my hair. By this point I'm bawling. like bawling, crying, and he starts saying that he was sorry and got on his knees and begged me to forgive him, and I did. And the next day, I was in a head-on car accident on my side, and it was bad. I was rushed to the emergency room, had a bunch of tests and stuff or whatever, and I wasn't doing okay. Of course, I had some bruising. My face was all jacked up from the airbag, and some other things had happened, and he yelled at me because my paramedic was a man, and the paramedic had to cut my bottoms off because of, you know, some other things that was going on. And I got yelled at by him because of my paramedic was a male. That night I broke down and told my parents and my aunt everything. Everything that I had been going through, everything that he had said to me, everything that he had done to me, I told them, crying, of course. And they did whatever they could to keep me away from him, but again, I am dumb. At this point in time, I did not have a relationship with Jeff and Gabby. Of course, they wanted me to be happy, and they wanted me to be safe, and they knew what he was doing to me. There was, you know, a time when he was fighting with me, and Gabby heard it for the first time, how he yelled at me. And she told me, this isn't right, that he's doing something wrong to you. And I didn't listen. And I should have, because, you know, she was crying, and Gabby never cries. And they tried to help me, but I ignored them and went back to him. So I did not have a relationship with Jeff and Gabby. But because of my car accident, they came running. You know, of course, they wanted me to be okay. And since I was no longer with Alex, disregard that name. So since I wasn't with this person anymore, they wanted me to be okay, so they were there for me. So they were there for me, and, you know, we became friends again. And this was a couple months before their wedding. That was in Vegas, and of course I was in the wedding. So another thing too, I wasn't allowed to go to this wedding. I wasn't allowed to be a bridesmaid by, you know, my boyfriend. At this time, he was my fiance. Actually, we had gotten engaged a month after we had been together. I know what you're thinking, but so I was their friend again, and behind their back, I was talking to him again, and only because I think in my mind, I felt like I couldn't get anyone better or anyone who wanted to be with me, because I wasn't worth it or worth anybody else's time, because I thought, if this is the only guy who loves me and loves me unconditionally, then why should I give him up? I did break up with him before their wedding, and you know, during their wedding, you know, I had tried my best to stay away from him, but he kept trying to contact me, and I kept telling him I didn't want anything to do with him anymore, because he did make me feel like I was nothing, even though in my mind he was loving me. So a couple months after that, you know, we broke up for real. And I switched jobs because he knew where I worked and was constantly calling my job. I switched jobs one day that he knew that I didn't have. He didn't know where it was. And I got a new car, so he wouldn't know what kind of car I had. I went to file a order of protection at the sheriff's department, but I decided that it would be better if I just lost all contact. I changed my phone number, got a new phone, and moved back in with my parents, and this is where I've been ever since. I do see him from time to time because where I live, it's a small freaking world and everybody knows everybody, and just so happens that he is currently dating one of our mutual friends' little sister. I don't understand because she was there for some of the times that he treated me so badly, and I don't understand why you would let your sister date someone like that. And he might have changed, because it's been, he started dating her a month or so after I completely broke up with him. And see, it's hard because I don't know if he changed. I don't know if people like that change. I know he was this way with the girlfriend before me. I probably should have listened before I started dating him. But, if you are in a relationship that he wants to control everything that you do, everything that you wear, you do, you say, you eat, you, if you're friends with his friends and he doesn't want you to be, if you're friends with his family, like I was and he didn't want you to be, anything like that, anything that he tries to do that changes who you are, it's not good. And it took me a very long time to understand that I shouldn't have to change for anybody else, to love me, especially. I do have some issues about it. I do sometimes think that I'm an idiot for breaking up with him because I'm so lonely now. It's been a year since then, a year and a half or so, a year, and I've been without, someone, like a boyfriend, and I think that I'm an idiot for leaving him because I will never find someone who's going to love me, or I'm going to die alone, or never find someone who's going to treat me the way I deserve to be treated. I think I'm a good person. I think I have something to offer someone else. I've never been the kind of girlfriend who was so clingy or controlling or jealous or anything like that. I've always been an understanding person, and I'm very passive. I don't like confrontation. I don't like to argue with other people. I don't like to change another person. I sometimes think that my standards are so high because I look at my best friends, Jeff and Gabby, and I see a relationship that is so loving and so beautiful that I want something like that, I don't know if that's weird, if I think that's weird or something, but I've never met two people besides my parents who show each other that they love each other every day. And yes, they fight, of course, but what relationship doesn't fight? But they do it in a way where they're not going to lash out or hit each other or say that person is better than the other person or control anything that person does. Their love is just so beautiful. And, they made someone, their daughter Lexi, they made someone who I know is going to grow up to be a beautiful person. And so I think I have my standards so high because I think I deserve a love that they have. And I just don't see myself being with anyone anytime soon, actually. I feel like there's, not someone else out there for me. But you know what? I could be wrong. I'm still facing a lot of issues, a lot of problems that I never faced, and I'm still working on that. I'm still working on being a better person, on working on my problems. But if you are out there, if there's anyone out there who's in a abusive relationship, it doesn't have to be physical abuse. I was mentally abused. I was constantly told, every day that I wasn't going to have someone else by my side if I left him. I was going to ruin his life. He was going to kill himself if I left. I, couldn't be who I wanted to be. And if there's anybody out there who feels the way that I did, just know that you can only go up, and that relationship is not healthy. Yes, all couples fight, but to be with someone who tries to change you is not right, and you need to love yourself before you can love someone else. So I hope that this helps someone else. I wish I could have helped myself earlier in life, but I learned, and this all happened, for a reason. And I hope that one day I will really see myself inside, if that makes sense. So thank you for watching. If you stuck through this whole super long video, it's like 23 minutes. If you stuck through it, thanks for watching. If this helped you in any way, please leave a comment below. And thank you. I love you guys.